The basketball world watched in stunned silence as two rookies wrote completely different stories on the same summer league court. VJ Edgecombe, the third overall pick, absolutely destroyed the competition with 28 points and a dunk that broke the internet. Meanwhile, Ace Bailey, selected 5th overall just months earlier, struggled to find his rhythm with a disappointing 8-point performance that left fans questioning everything they thought they knew about these prospects. But here's the thing that nobody saw coming. This wasn't just about basketball. This was about pride, family, and the incredible journey these two young men took to reach this moment. What happened that night revealed so much more than just box scores, and the backstory behind both performances will absolutely shock you. Let's start with the controversy that had the entire draft community buzzing. Ace Bailey didn't just get drafted by the Utah Jazz, he actively tried to avoid them. Reports surfaced that Bailey refused to work out for Utah, clearly signaling he had no interest in playing for the franchise. This wasn't just typical draft posturing either. Bailey's camp made it crystal clear they preferred other destinations, creating an awkward situation that reminded everyone of similar draft drama from years past. The parallels to Stephen Curry's situation became impossible to ignore. Just like Curry's father tried to steer him away from certain teams, Bailey's representatives worked behind the scenes to influence his landing spot. The difference? Utah called his bluff and selected him anyway, setting up what could have been a disastrous relationship from day one. When draft night arrived, Bailey maintained his professionalism publicly, but insiders knew the tension was real. He was heading to a team he didn't want to play for, in a city he hadn't envisioned as home, with a coaching staff he'd never worked with. That kind of mental baggage doesn't just disappear when you step onto the court. While Bailey dealt with his draft drama, VJ Edgecombe's story was capturing hearts across the basketball world. This wasn't your typical NBA prospect journey. Edgecombe grew up in Bimini, Bahamas, where his family lived without electricity for 7 years. Picture this: a future NBA lottery pick doing his homework by candlelight, charging his phone at neighbors' houses, and dreaming of basketball stardom while living conditions that most Americans couldn't even imagine. Imagine a future NBA lottery pick doing his homework by candlelight, charging his phone at neighbors' houses, and dreaming of basketball stardom while living in conditions that most Americans couldn't even fathom. The generator that powered their home became a symbol of his family's struggle and determination. When other kids were playing video games or scrolling social media, Edgecombe was developing the mental toughness that would later define his game. His mother worked multiple jobs to support the family, while his father emphasized education and character development above everything else. Draft night became an emotional celebration, not just for VJ but for an entire community that had watched him grow from a kid shooting hoops on makeshift courts to a top 3 NBA selection. The tears in his eyes weren't just about personal achievement, they represented hope for every young athlete facing impossible odds. When these two rookies finally took the court, the contrast couldn't have been more dramatic. Bailey looked tentative, almost uncomfortable in his Jazz uniform. His shot selection seemed forced, his body language suggested frustration, and his teammates appeared to be walking on eggshells around him. 8 points on 3 of 13 shooting tells only part of the story. This was a player clearly dealing with more than just basketball adjustments. But here's what made it even more interesting. Despite Bailey's struggles, his team actually won the game. His teammates stepped up, the coaching staff made adjustments, and the organization showed they were committed to supporting their controversial draft pick, regardless of the drama surrounding his selection. On the other side, VJ Edgecombe was putting on an absolute clinic. 28 points wasn't just a number, it was a statement. Every drive to the basket carried the weight of his journey. Every made shot represented years of perseverance, and that highlight reel dunk that had everyone jumping out of their seats, that was pure emotion translated into athletic brilliance. Understanding Bailey's performance requires looking beyond the box score. This wasn't just a case of rookie jitters or adjusting to professional competition. Bailey was dealing with the psychological impact of playing for a team he'd actively tried to avoid. Every missed shot felt magnified. Every turnover seemed to validate critics who questioned his attitude, and every possession carried the weight of proving he belonged despite the draft drama. Jazz fans, to their credit, showed incredible maturity in their response. Instead of booing or showing frustration, they remained supportive, understanding that their new player was navigating a difficult situation. The organization's approach reflected their long-term vision. They weren't concerned about one summer league performance when they believed in Bailey's potential over the next decade. While Bailey struggled with expectations, Edgecombe was embracing his opportunity with infectious energy. His work ethic had always been his calling card, but this performance showcased his natural basketball instincts and competitive fire. The 28 points came from all over the court, driving through contact, hitting contested jumpers, and finishing plays that showcased his athletic ability. That dunk everyone's still talking about, it represented everything VJ had overcome to reach this moment. The elevation, the power, the confidence. It was a young man announcing his arrival on basketball's biggest stage. Philadelphia fans watching knew they had something special, a player whose journey had prepared him for exactly these kinds of moments. These contrasting debuts revealed something fascinating about the modern NBA draft. Physical talent and college statistics only tell part of the story. Mental preparation, emotional maturity, and the ability to handle adversity often determine who succeeds at the professional level. Bailey's talent was never in question, but his summer league struggle highlighted the importance of mental readiness and organizational fit. Edgecombe's performance, meanwhile, demonstrated how life experiences can translate into basketball success. His years of overcoming obstacles, maintaining focus despite difficult circumstances, and staying committed to his goals had prepared him for the pressure of professional basketball in ways that traditional development programs simply cannot replicate. Both players face crucial decisions moving forward. Bailey must decide whether to embrace his situation in Utah or continue fighting a battle that could define his entire career. The organization has shown patience and support, but professional basketball requires mutual commitment from both sides. His talent level suggests he can become a star, but only if he commits mentally to the process. For VJ, the challenge becomes maintaining this level of performance while adjusting to the increased expectations that come with early success. His background suggests he's prepared for this challenge, but the NBA season presents different obstacles than any he's faced before. These summer league performances might seem like just exhibition games, but they often predict how rookies will handle the pressure and expectations of professional basketball. One night of basketball revealed character, highlighted journeys, and set the stage for two very different rookie seasons ahead.